Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's Spider Final video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's Spider video. Day 10 will take us to the 15th of October, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. They run around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, and that gets us towards the beginning of November, virtually to the end of October. So I'll get on that for you in a moment. Just say that first. Video release A was our 6 AM UK weather forecast, and also released the detailed European outlook. Please check out those two vids if you'd like to do that. Like, share and subscribe on all of today's videos and content, and thank you so much everybody for doing that. We released our first Christmas 2023 sneaky peeky last night. Thank you for all of the lovely comments about the sneaky peek. I think you enjoyed it. Got another one coming next Wednesday, so watch out for that jingle bell. Say, right, okay. Well, let's start off with Tropical Atlantic next. So we've still got Tropical Storm Philip knocking about. This is giving maximum stay winds of 45 miles per hour with a minimum central pressure of 1,005 millibars, moving northwards at 10 miles per hour. This is going to be staying as a tropical storm for the next few days, but over the weekend we'll be heading off into far northeast America and then up into Canada, where it will go post-tropical and will die a death. After Philly, there's no sign of any other disturbance areas for the time being, so possibly we're heading into a rather quieter phase now of this tropical storm and/or hurricane season, but we'll keep posted. Central temperature is continuing to edge down. We're now sitting at 14.6, which is 4.1 degrees above average. That's provisional to yesterday, to the 4th of October. That will probably tick down a bit more for the next day or so, and then rise through the weekend and into the beginning of next week. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensemble. Next winds from Oxford today. Break line is above the year upper air temperature average for Oxford. Just a little bit above average at the moment, not much of a deviation. But over the next few days, we are going to see those upper air temperatures becoming very warm, actually, at the end of the week and into the first half of next week. And then a cool down taking place through the second half of next week and into the middle and second half of October, returning back to average. Although, having said that, there's a lot of scatter, so although we have got these cooler ensemble members down here, we have got warmer ensemble members up here as well. However, I think we will be getting a cool down from around the end of, or middle to the end of next week onwards. Precipitation-wise, we've got dry weather over the next few days with this warm spell, but much more unsettled from around the middle of next week onwards. Some really quite big precipitation spikes coming through then, so cooler and wetter into the middle and second half of October. Temperature anomalies on the 5th to 13th of October above average, UK and Ireland included in that. Notice things are continuing to cool down in the far north of Europe, both through Norway and into central northern parts of Sweden and also Finland as well. So just a little bit of sign of a change from the far north of Europe, but we're still warm for average. Precipitation anomalies for the 15th, 13th of October. North-south split, western average in the northern half of the country, driving average in the south. This is the latest wind from that from earthnoschool.net with low pressure in the Atlantic and withdrawing in wind from that southwesterly direction. So we're going to draw the battle lines actually over this weekend, and it will be quite cool up across Scotland, but elsewhere we're going to draw those winds in from the south. Right, let's start going through chart data then. And this tabulation UK met your roads with midnight on Sunday, so high pressure dominating and bring up wind from a very warm southerly direction as well. There will be weather from that's kind of stuck in the middle of this high through here, so always cooler across Scotland. Now, into the beginning of next week, and we're going to find this ridge still keeping the weather largely dry and potentially very warm down in the south, always looking a little bit more showery up in the north. Then the middle and second half of next week shows a change. Not necessarily overly unsettled, but the high pressure repositioning out in the North Atlantic will start to bring in significantly cooler air from the north. So by the time we get through to next Thursday, we can see again it is much cooler across the northern half of the country. But warm still just clinging on by its fingertips. So down in the south there, still not quite getting it out. But I think by the time we get through to Thursday, Friday, we will see that warmth edging away to the south. Icon again as we go through Sunday, showing that drawing up that warm air from the south once more into the first half of next week. High pressure brings lots of dry and warm weather. Then it turns much more unsettled through the middle part of the week, with low pressure bringing spells of rain, and eventually cooler air will start to dig in from the North Atlantic as well. The GFS midnight run once more, showing high pressure dominating through the early part of next week. It's a hot ridge as well, a warm ridge, bringing up the warmth from the south. Turns unsettled as the ridge collapses into the middle of next week. No lower pressure taking over to the north and west, and then down comes this cooler or even colder air into the second half next week behind an active cold front, brings heavy rain with it. And then low pressure really taking over as we move on into the weekend of 14th and 15th of October, looking very unsettled there with bouts of rain and with winds coming in from a northwesterly direction, looking quite chilly with bouts. Well, actually, we turn wind into the north as we get into the beginning of the following week. This is Monday, 16th of October, and again, we've got a proper northerly there coming all the way from Arctic sources with the -5 cells and iceberg to the northern half of the country. We flatten that high pressure up as we go through into the middle part of that week. So it's Wednesday 18th, back into a westerly flow then. A little bit milder, but still rather unsettled, especially so for the north and the west. With GFS 6 there, once more, showing the high pressure in control of weather through the weekend into about next week, very warm in the south. Then it turns unsettled middle of next week with low pressure to the north and west, bringing bouts of rain with it. That unsettled weather lasting into the second half of next week, and also turning cooler as well, especially so in the northern half of the country. Winds in from the northwest there as we head up towards day 10. Beyond that, we turn the wind back into the south again, though. So this is Tuesday, 17th of October, up and coming those southerly southeasters again, although it is unsettled with low pressure and bouts of rain in from off the Atlantic. So definitely a more unsettled look to the weather as we go through into the middle part of the month. If you enjoyed the video, please can you like, share, subscribe, and show everyone for doing that. Why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. Don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. We need to put on around 20 subscribers. That is all to get 17,000 subscribers. We are so close to 17k. Thank you so much, everybody, for getting us virtually to 17k. Still got a little bit more work to do to get to 17,000 subscribers, but it is coming into view now very quickly. So thank you so much, everybody. Please tell your friends and family to subscribe and get to 17k. GM again showing that high pressure in the ascendancy on Sunday. And through the early part of next week again, the ridge is in control. By the middle of next week, though, the ridge is collapsing into south and the east of Europe as low pressure takes over to both the north and the west, turning more unsettled. Not only more unsettled, but also cooler, with low pressure bringing bouts of rain in from off the Atlantic, and eventually turn wind into a cooler or a colder northwesterly. And then ECMWF rounds it all off. Once more, the high pressure is in control for Sunday. Excuse me, everybody. And then into the beginning of next week, the high pressure just clinging on by its fingertips. Monday, Tuesday, keeping very warm weather going in the south. But by Wednesday, we're looking more unsettled here. Low pressure to the north and also to west, started to bring spells of rain in from off the Atlantic. Quite an active cold front there. That is midnight on Thursday. Quite an active cold front through there, bringing heavy rain and introducing much cooler air from the North Atlantic. Then behind that, high pressure comes back in, but this is a much cooler ridge by the time you get through to the end of next week. So that could bring some quite cold nights with it, actually. That's day 10, so bit in between. High pressure still trying to hang on by its fingertips down into the south, but low pressure is deepening around Iceland. This is a precipitation forecast based on the ECM run from meteo.com. Spells of rain pushing across the country through today and tonight, and then the wet weather really sets in for Scotland over the end week and over the weekend. So persistent and very heavy rain there, otherwise mostly dry, and in the south very warm. By the end of the weekend it turns drier even up in the north, so beginning of next week looks mainly dry initially, but then turns more unsettled eventually. In comes the cold front by the middle of next week. That brings lots of heavy rain with it, and eventually introduces the push of air from the northwest. So it turns cooler behind that cold front, back to drier weather, perhaps as we head up towards day 10. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10. Gets 15th of October. 14 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure to our north and northeast. High pressure is out in the Atlantic. Winds are coming in from a northwesterly direction. So unsettled in the north, mostly dry in the south. 12 with low pressure over and to the north country. That looks very unsettled too. 11 with high pressure to the south, low pressure to the north, that includes the control and the operational run. 10 with low pressure over Scandinavia, high pressure in the middle of the Atlantic, winds are in from northwest of that, and 4 with high pressure pretty much ridging through the whole country and going up to northern Europe as well. That's the driest of the options. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got, and it gets us to the 20th of October. So we've got 23 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure across the northwest Europe, very unsettled with that. We've got 10 with high pressure sitting over Scandinavia, bringing lots of dry weather with it. We've got another 10 with high pressure somewhere between Iceland and Scandinavia, mostly dry with that. And then we've got 8 with low pressure to our north, and again we're bringing the wind from a west or northwesterly direction with that. So a range of options between high pressure and low pressure. It does look as though we are going into more unsettled phase, though, I think, from the middle to latter stages of next week onwards. CFSV2 finally, these are 500 millibar high tides bring down to week periods. The first week period takes from the 5th to the 11th of October. This next week is dominated by high pressure, so lots of dry and very warm weather, particularly so for the south. Week 2 is going to be the 12th to the 18th of October. Low pressure over Scandinavia, high pressure out in the Atlantic. Winds coming in from a northwesterly direction with that one. Week 3 is going to be the 19th, 25th of October. High pressure around Spain, low pressures around Iceland and Greenland. And then week 4 is rounding it all off, and it will be, excuse me, everybody, it'll be the 26th of October to 1st of November. Low pressure north, high pressure to the south, so all looking rather westerly dominated there up to the beginning of November. And we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, share, subscribe. Thanks so much for doing that. Drop a comment, let us know what you think of all of our videos. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thanks so much, everybody, for doing that. Check out our merch store and also consider becoming a channel member, maybe giving us a super thanks to highlight your comment, and give us a PayPal donation as well. Links are in the description with this video. It's helping us to pay for the channel, helping for me to be able to sit here and do this to all of you. I have to pay my bills and whatnot along with everybody else, you know, so if you could give us a donation, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. And as I say, only around 20 subscribers, something like that, will get us to 17k subs. So if you could give us a sub, it would be amazing, and we thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Right, just coming up tomorrow, we're going to have a 6 AM UK weather forecast, JMA Friday 10 to 14 there, and hopefully we'll be live streaming at 10 PM as well. So I should see if that was a channel member live stream as well. Talking about channel membership, if you're a channel member, then you'll have your channel member live stream for October at 6 PM tomorrow. So I shall definitely see channel members for that one. There may be a live stream later on tomorrow. I've got to see how the wrist is tomorrow, but hopefully I think we'll be alright to do a Friday night live at 10 PM. You enjoy the rest of your Thursday, though, and for this one, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.